Ladies and gentlemen, today was an absolute face ripper of a day, but it's days like today that are actually perfect to pass some evaluations. So here's the proof, just under 18,000 for the day to get to 100 expert accounts with my funded futures. And normally on this channel, you see me trading NASDAQ. But today, I wanted to trade the ES S&P 500 because I feel as if it was going to at least trend or read a little easier than NASDAQ would have. Now, mind you, it did have a pretty clean move up, but in terms of how the points are paid out and what the profit is per tick and per point, I wanted to ride ES as far as I could. So the reason why I like trend days for obvious reasons is that it gives you multiple points of entry. Whereas on days where you kind of just chop around like what we've seen, it can be pretty tough. And if we go down to the bottom left of the screen here, I mean, we have already chopped twice before we've put in what is a lower day to follow, or at least a lower leg down. So here's chop one right in here. And in my estimation, we are going to chop in this range as well. We're already putting in a red day. So we had chop, leg down, chop, leg down. So are we to be targeting this general area here around 20,000 even? It's going to be an interesting few days and probably an interesting rest of the year to see how this shapes out. But here's the here is the trade recap. Let's just jump right into that. So you'll notice I took a short because I thought we were going to have another leg down on this doji candle and just got stopped out on that one right here at these lows for 1800. Was able to get some of that back almost. And then once I saw this confirmation here, this was the key for me. When I saw this confirmation of a push up, we had a fully engulfing candle followed by a doji. I got in when we retested, you'll see my entry right here. We retested this low right off to this side. So once I saw us retest this low right in this doji candle area right here, that is where I wanted to get in. It was subsequently roughly half of this candle to where we were able to get bought up. And if we're looking at it on the volume profile, we're at a pretty solid spot there. Confluence would be looking at the MACD in this range. So we're right here. You'll notice this big push down is the first sort of dip below, and then the test up right here, and then we just kind of broke away ever since. So there is the 9,500. And this was, quite a hold time to get this done, which is not fun on an evaluation phase, but that's why you never want to take an account, and you'll know who I'm talking about, when you have a trailing drawdown. Because when you're in a trailing drawdown, either here or here, you've got yourself a nice little either account blown, or you're going to be in one of the risk parameters to have the account either pause for the day or whatever the case is. So that is why I'm not a fan of accounts with trailing drawdowns. But I was not expecting today to be a red day, to be honest. When I got to my desk at 7:30 Eastern this morning, we're actually putting in a green day, going to test up here. So I thought we were maybe going to run the wick of this candle back around 2100, but it looks like we're just going to kind of pretty much pivot in here the rest of the day. I mean, it's already Wednesday, so you can probably anticipate a Thursday, Friday chop here above VWAP. In my opinion, I think we are going to be solid if we continue to consolidate above VWAP. Mind you, we want to stay above VWAP. So that's where I want to say I think we're somewhat safe. But I think now that we had a pretty large move down here, I mean, right from the start of this morning, we started at 59.40 and ended at 58.80. So we had a pretty solid move down, somewhat of a retracement. I think we're going to chop for the rest of the afternoon. So I'm going to step away from my desk for now until power hour. So that's my trading morning as of today. I figured once we retested, or at least we broke out of this range down here to where we kind of chopped, we would get closer to VWAP, and we did. I don't know if we're going to run VWAP. Personally, I mean, we have somewhat of a double bottom right here, and we're already starting to push up pretty nicely from that. But the last thing I want to do is get chopped around in ES. Yesterday was absolutely miserable for the NASDAQ, and you can just tell that within, I mean, look at these VWAP bands, right? You're just within this zone, dude. It is nightmarish overnight. And then when you had yesterday, it was just a slow grind up. Like this right in here, absolutely brutal. And then if you were like I was yesterday, trying to catch the top, you just got ran over. And even when we broke out of the second standard deviation on VWAP, I remember having a trade right here because I figured that this red doji candle was going to be us to retrace inward a little bit, just got steamrolled. So that was the story of yesterday, but at least today we have, I mean, fantastic opportunities, but this has just been absolutely brutal. We're already starting to get wicked around here, so not something I would want to trade. I think a bulk of the move is done. But that's my trading day for today, guys. Hope this video was somewhat helpful. Any questions, please comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.